good morning and good evening to all of us present in the call. Thank you for joining and welcome to the fourth town hall of the year. Today, the core services and product team will be presenting the plan. And primarily, we are focusing on two areas to kind of touch upon in the call. First and foremost, a quick recap on all the major items which we have gone live, in Q1. And the second is all the items which we have planned and in upcoming in Q2 and onwards. Now, having said that, let me also present my screen, just a moment. Perfect. Now, in terms of the core services, we are going to touch upon three core product areas and modules. One is calendar, second would be workflow, and third would be CRM. In CRM, we also have contacts, opportunities, conversations, integrations, and marketplace. Now with that, I think over to you, Abhishek. You can take it forward from there.
Thanks, Ed, and welcome everyone to the fourth town hall of the year. We are really excited and looking forward to giving you a preview of what's coming up this quarter and the features which we have gone live with. Before we do that, I would quickly like to give you an overview on how we go about planning and building these features. So the slide which you see right now, it talks about identifying opportunities. When it comes to doing that, the ideas board is one of the main sources for us, along with the feedback which comes along from Facebook community groups, as well as from support. And we are also analyzing the competition throughout. For planning and prioritization, there are numerous factors which are considered in depending on what the situation or what the feature is. However, a major consideration which is always given is to what will have the most impact for our customers. And that is one of the utmost priorities when it comes to planning new features for our roadmaps or for any of the quarters. Moving on to execution, this is where the ideas take shape, involving steps like designing, development, testing. Here again, the core focus is to build reliable and secure features for our customers, but keeping in mind the fastest way to be able to deliver them to the customer so that they can start leveraging those in their businesses. And the final step, feedback, which is an important step in the whole cycle for us, which allows us to align more accurately with our customers in a continuous cycle. This includes activities ranging from user interviews to usability testing and beta testing. So I guess what I'm saying is that keep sending in your ideas and feedback as they are an integral part of our planning and execution process. Our goal is to cover as many of them as possible, although we might not be able to do them all at once. Now with that context set in,
let me just jump in real quick. Does everybody know how to get to the ideas board? In your agency account in the left-hand menu, there's a tab for ideas. And I think you don't even have to sign in if you go through that tab. So if you haven't gone there before, please check it out because it is really important for us to see what you all are voting up above other features.
Thank you, Chase. All right, now let's move on to see what we have been doing recently and what are the recent releases and what has been planned for this quarter. Starting with calendars, in the recent release, we have introduced recurring appointments with wherein a new calendar can be created, wherein multiple appointments and recurrence can be booked. This is an ideal use case for classes or for recurring meetings or workshops. Looking at the statistics, we have more than 2,500 recurring calendars as of today, leading to 290,000 recurring appointments. Now, these are some really amazing statistics considering we have recently launched this and we are looking at the trend, we are hoping this number would increase further. Moving on to the next feature, which has gone live, would be custom slot duration, which has been, again, an ask for many of the customers where we earlier did not have the ability to have a custom slot duration for a calendar, which is now possible. Along with that, we have also increased the maximum slot duration limit from 8 hours to 12 hours. Hoping that, it would now be used by more customers and it would now serve more use cases for many of the customers, which earlier couldn't do that. Talking about class booking, this has been, again, one of the recent ones. We did this release a couple of weeks back. Now a class booking calendar can be created with this allowing multiple attendees to be able to book the same slot and users would be able to see the list of all the attendees in the same appointment model, which makes it easy to use. And also, this would be ideal for classes, webinars, use cases specifically in the health and fitness industry, but definitely not limited to that. So, yep, that's that. And moving on to the latest, which is a surprise. We have gone live today. In fact, if most of you have not checked your screen, then you probably would see it now if you update it. This is basically ability to add logo. Now, users can add logos or their brand images to the calendar widgets, making it look more professional and more authentic to their businesses. This was again, one of the most highly voted ideas from the ideas board, and we decided to, start our quarter by delivering this. So hope you guys are excited about this. All right, now that we have seen what were the major features which we have released, let's move on to see what are the upcoming releases which we have planned from calendars for this quarter. To start with, we have collective booking. This would allow users to create a pool calendar for multiple team members and would only show available slots to invitees when all the team members are available. When this appointment is scheduled, all the team members would be then added to the same appointment and also notified about the same. This would be an ideal scenario wherein, a customer wants to book an appointment with several of your team members at one time. Example, let's say a customer wants to schedule a technical call with a support rep and an engineer. So that's where, you can have a collective calendar with that support rep and an engineer, and the invitee would be able to book the slot based on the availability of both the team members in it. I think this again, caters to a lot of business cases and would definitely add, more value to calendars and to our customers. Moving on to the next thing, calendar setup flow improvements. Now, this is not really just a functionality change, but this would also be a design and a user experience change, where we have heard and seen from the ideas board that many of the customers find this confusing whenever, they have to set up a calendar. So in order to solve that, we have come up with a new calendar flow aiming to eradicate those issues. This new setup would have a basic calendar setup versus an advanced, wherein, depending on the user's need, they can spend less time and create a basic calendar. Or if they want to have more requirements and conditions added to it, then they can very well move on to the advanced section, which would be seen in the next slide, like this. So our aim is to eradicate, number one, the noise, create a free and a cleaner design so that it is less confusing and less noisy for our customers, and then they are able to create calendars and use them how they want it to be from the start. By the way, for this, we are right now in the usability testing phase, and where we would be reaching out to customers and we are showing them the designs and asking them and seeking for feedbacks and inputs. And I would drop the link in the chat. If any of you would be interested in doing this with us, then please book a time with me and we can do this together. And hopefully we can incorporate those feedbacks early in the loop.
Abhishek, Mary Sue has a question. What is our plan for the unassigned calendar?
Right. So unassigned calendars, earlier there were plans that, it would be discontinued, but based on our research and, we have been speaking to customers, many of the customers are using unassigned calendars. So we would want to keep that as well. We don't have any plans to get rid of those. But then again, there were other complications which were causing confusion, which would be eradicated with the new designs.
Cool.
Hope that answers.
So unassigned calendar still, so basically we're keeping them because they still make sense.
Yes.
Why don't we just call them calendars?
That is the plan.
Here's the cleanup
Okay,
that
cool.
Abhishek's talking about is that terminology will go away.
Okay, good. Yeah, just to call it new calendar. That makes sense. Okay.
So you're saying a customer can book with two teammates, but you can't go the other way. I can't book two prospects onto a meeting, right?
Not with the collective calendar, no.
Okay.
Not with collective, but we have the feature, right? You can. Yeah.
It's live?
Yep.
Inside classes.
Yeah.
I'll have to look at that. Okay, I don't know. I'll have to look at that. Thank you, guys.
All right. Moving on to the next feature, which is planned, would be the multiple calendars view. This again, has been one of the asks for our customers, where I think, it would make their lives easier in managing their weeks or their days or their daily schedules. With this ability, you would be able to select multiple calendars and then be able to view all the appointments and events which are there on a weekly or a monthly view. I think, this again, we have picked and got inspired from the ideas board, but yeah, we would be dropping this early in the quarter. Moving on, last but not the least, this definitely is one of the major ones again picked from the ideas board, where the idea, as you can see on the right, was ability for the appointees to be able to add guests directly from the booking widget, and that information to be flown into the system, and a contact needs to be created. So we have been doing user research in the previous quarter around this, and I think we have all the questions answered, and we are ready to build this up. So again, this has been slotted for this quarter, and we can see this coming in live in the next couple of months. All right, so those were some of the main features, which are the key focus for the team calendars. However, the list is not finished. And there are quite a few things which we would be doing on top of the ones which we just spoke about. Look busy option is one, wherein this would provide the ability for users to make their calendars appear a bit more busier than it usually is, which kind of creates a sense of urgency for the appointees, encouraging them to book faster or sooner for the appointments. And
That's
then the
pretty
second thing
cool.
is, and then the second thing is basically the recurring appointment enhancements, wherein, when we released recurring appointments last quarter, we got feedback wherein a few of the customers reported that they had use cases wherein they would want the ability to have recurring appointments go beyond the 24 recurrences. So we have been exploring that path. And our aim is to eradicate, number one, the current limitation of 24 recurrences, and number two, to introduce the ability by which one can set a recurring calendar for a future date, which could be 2 years ahead. So that should hopefully solve majority of the concerns and challenges which currently people have been asking for to be eradicated from our recurring appointments. All right, so with that, I would hand off to Suresh, who would take care of the workflow and walk you guys through whatever is coming. I'll take a look at the questions if there are any in the chat, and then answer those. Over to you, Suresh.
Awesome job. Let's clap it up for the calendar team and the comments. Some of that stuff is really cool. All right, who's up for workflows?
Yeah, myself. Thanks, Abhishek. Hello, everyone. I'll be running down the workflow items. So, Sid.
Yep.
Thanks, Sid. We added 4 new membership triggers: category started, lesson completed, and product started. Also, we updated the old and new membership trigger filters in such a way you can multi-select products or category or lessons. So you need not create multiple triggers. You can just multi-select within the same trigger. We also updated the if-else to support multi-select for membership fields so that you can select multiple lessons under the same condition. Also followed by all new membership parameters are added to the custom values. Membership team opened up a lot more parameters, like for each title and email and phone. We made it available in the custom values. Next, goal item. So 2 more goal events are added. This one is based on the contact tag. You can select multiple tags, and whenever the contact gets pulled to the goal, when their tag is added or removed from the contact. So the contact enters the workflow. If a status of a tag is changed, and if it is part of the selected tag, then based on the selection, it will be getting moved to that particular location of the goal. LC premium triggers and actions. So this is a premium feature, and it is now available for all the plans. The first 100 executions are free for each location, and it will be charged 1 cent per execution after that. So currently we have 1 premium trigger, that is inbound webhook, and 3 premium actions: Google Sheets, Slack, custom webhook. You can enable them for all locations in agency settings company. We also planning to give location-wise enable disable. It is a work in progress, and it will be available in this quarter. And affiliate manager. We built 1 trigger and 4 actions for affiliate manager. So it is in QA, and we can expect to go live in this week. So datetime formatter. So here you can pick any date field and format it as per your requirement. This field can be current date, a particular date, or a contact field, or even a data from an inbound webhook. Here, using this, you can also compare two dates and get the difference in number of days. This one is also in QA, and we can expect it to go live in this week. And the plan for this quarter, we are covering 6 items from the ideas board, which includes like ability to publish or unpublish a workflow from the workflow list. So we are coming out with the new table design from where you can publish or unpublish from the table itself. Followed by the if-else improvements. This also asked by a lot of people. So now you'll be able to move the branch, that is reorder the branch. You can duplicate it. Also, you can rename the none branch so that it will make sense when you see the workflow. Then notify. This upgrade is to enable the ability to select multiple users in internal notifications for emails and SMS, so that you need not create multiple action to send the same notification to different user. So you can just multi-select a user and the email or SMS will be all the users selected.
Nice. That's very helpful.
Also, we are planning, sorry, a few more there in the previous one.
Yep.
So we are also planning for the nested folders in this quarter. And the other item is to send out according to the contact time zone. So now you can configure whether it has to be account or contact time zone in workflow settings. The wait step and time window executions will proceed purely based on the selected time zone. Yes. So next item is goal booked appointment. This is for booked appointment. So similar way, whenever a contact enters and the same contact gets an appointment booked, so it will reach the goal directly and it will proceed from there. Followed by payment receipt trigger. So this trigger, whenever there's a payment is received from a contact from any source like funnel, invoice, or calendar, the data will be passed to this trigger, and the source data and other information related to the payment will be available there. And the next one is custom webhook response. So we are going to handle the response data received from the custom webhook, and it will be made available in the custom values. So this is also a long act, and more people are asking for it. This also we are picking in this quarter. Next comes to number formatter. This will be similar to a date formatter. Here the number is formatted as per the requirement, and it can be text to number, to a phone number, currency formatted. Other thing is you can also generate a random number. Let's say you want to maintain even a small ticket system within the using the workflow, you can generate a random number, and this will set it up. And followed by inbound webhook enhancements. So currently we support post, and we are reading the body content data. We are enhancing it in such a way it will support post, put, get methods, also including the headers and the query parameters in the URL. Another upgrade is like today to use an inbound webhook, create or update contact action. So whenever you try to add an inbound webhook, create update contact action is a must. It automatically gets added. Moving forward, it will become optional after this upgrade, which practically means workflow will be able to execute without depending on a contact. So directly you can bring in data to an inbound webhook. You can take it to a Slack or Google Sheet. So as per your requirement. Next is like we are upgrading our UI to enhance the user experience. So we are coming with the new creation flow, workflow creation flow. Next one, please. Which also includes more recipes. We are going to add more recipes to the template library. And followed by workflow validation. Like you can preview a recipe like before getting it. Before you add it, you can preview it. You can be also showing the prerequisites of the workflow. Next comes the validation, the workflow validation. So this validation, like when you are creating like importing it from a snapshot, like if a particular action is invalid, when you attempt to publish, this will ensure that it is not getting published, and it will highlight the particular action that requires your attention. So where it helps is like we have moving forward in future, we have the plan to let people move workflow between locations. So ability to move workflow between locations. So in such cases, there'll be some dependencies which will be missing when we move it to other locations. So in such cases, once this is done, that will open up. We'll be able to move forward and implement the other upgrades. So that is it from my end. Thanks, Sid. Thank you, everyone. moving forward, yes, take over.
Thanks, Suresh. Over to you, Pru.
Hi, so we'll be starting with the contacts module. Yeah, so these are all the features that have gone live in the last quarter. So the first one is the opportunity cards, UI and US enhancements. The main goal here was to make the cards easier to see, provide action buttons so that you can take decisions much more faster, and then also provide an optimized performance in which you are able to move the cards across the stages much more easily. The second one was company object, bulk actions and search. So here we allowed you to bulk delete companies and associate contacts, view those deleted companies in the audit logs, search for companies based on their email IDs, and also add new companies right from the contact details page instead of coming here and following the previous flow. The third one on the company object is again automation. So here, if you have contacts with the same business name, you can automatically create companies of those business name, and these behave in a live sync wherein new contacts where you add this new business name also get added to the same company. So you're able to manage your company object much more easily rather than having to use workflows or any other automation for that matter. Other releases we had in this quarter was you were able to share smart list among users even with the assigned to filter applied. We also had certain performance enhancements in terms of the custom values page, the tags page, and the labs page. Moving on to the upcoming releases that we have. So we have a few releases for you that you should be seeing live either by the end of this week or the next week. And then we have some planned for the entire quarter. So in the next 2 weeks, you could see multiple emails coming live, wherein you can add multiple emails to a contact, have a primary email with which you use to do all your actions. In the conversations page, you'll also be able to choose which email you want to send an email to, and then track multiple conversations with different emails of one contact in the same page. We'll also be able to allow you to bulk import these contacts through your CSV files and add them as additional emails to manage your CRM much more easily. Opportunities, new filter and sort. So you'll now be able to sort with a new parameter called lead value. So all your stages will now be sorted based on lead value, ascending and descending as per your choice. We are adding new filters as well, right from created at, last stage changed, updated at, lead value, opportunity won on, and opportunity lost on. So this is how the filters, multiple applied filters will actually also look like. Yeah, so this was one of the most, I would say, voted Canny board feedback item on the opportunities and pipeline side, that was custom fields for opportunities. So in Q2, you would see us coming up with this, wherein you'll be able to create those custom fields in the same custom fields page that you're currently familiar with, and also view this in the edit opportunity modal and edit them there.
Those will show in the opportunities section on the card itself, because I have a situation where I need my opportunities by company name, not by contact, because I'm selling B2B.
Yeah, so Glenn, that is not something that you can do now, but you will be able to add a custom field called company name to your opportunity card, and it will show in the modal that you're currently able to see, where you're able to edit your opportunity. There you will see a new section called a new box called company. You can populate that. In the future, we'll also be adding filters for these custom fields, so you will be able to manage them. But yes, for now, they will be linked to the company, to the contact name. If you still want to, let's say, manage your opportunities based on company name, you can use the company name in your opportunity name, with which you will be able to see them on the cards and track them much more easily.
Yeah, the issue is I kind of need both. I'm dealing with multiple location customers and contacts. So it could be the manager at one location, but the president at another location. It gets a little confusing. But this, it's all add. This all adds. One other thing, I also have an issue where I don't know if you're going to address it or not. I need to be able to attach, I have to have multiple companies, and I need to be able to attach a contact to multiple companies, because, for example, like a regional manager who oversees 3 locations needs to be attached to those 3 locations, right? And I'm not able to do that now, as far as I know.
Yeah,
Ideas
so
board
again,
Ideas board is the right place for this.
Okay.
Thanks, Shivam. Thanks, Len.
Yep.
Create standalone tasks. So this was again one of the features that we picked up from the Canny board, and we realized that as of now, any task that you create in the GHL platform needs to be linked to a contact. So you can't assign tasks internally to your team if you want to manage responsibilities internally. So now you'll be able to create tasks that will be that may not be linked to a contact. And then we also be able to filter them separately and manage internal responsibilities within it. Also, you will be able to now save the task filter view. So in the task page, whatever the filters and assignees or other parameters that you have set, they will be stored for that particular user whenever he's opening up the platform. Search option for tags. So I think this is again something that's bugged a lot of our users, wherein they have a lot of tags and they have to keep scrolling down and finding where it is. We are going to add the search option wherein now you can search and get that popped right up there. So managing multiple tags becomes much more easier. Other upcoming release that you would see would be multiple phone number per contact. So as soon as we are live with multiple email, we start working on phone numbers per contact, and that should be the next thing that you would see coming up. In company, the view on notes page has been on coming soon, and you'll now be able to see the notes for all the contacts linked to that particular company right in one place, one after the other. Custom values with which we went the UI performance enhancement live last quarter will now be going live with folders in the next quarter. You may also see some additional filters in smart list, valid email, DND channels, last activity, country, which currently don't exist, but will be available by the end of this quarter. Last but not the least, it's the global unique identifier. So for now, we consider email and phone both together as the global unique identifier. We are working towards giving you the opportunity to choose email or phone and choose them as, let's say, being a lone identifier for all your contacts to manage and track duplicates. Yeah, this is more or less from the contact side.
Thanks, Puru. Over to you, Samita, for the conversations.
Yeah, thanks, Ed. So hello, everyone. I'll be introducing the updates for conversations. So regarding the released features that are currently live, the first one is the ability to view and respond to CC'd recipients marked in an inbound email. And the view is as corresponding as shown in the picture. It makes it easy for users to track and follow conversation with multiple people that keep happening in the same thread. Next slide. Next, we introduced two-way sync for Gmail. So for the conversations for emails that are initiated from a GHL, we can enable two-way sync, and emails can be sent from the CRM and sync to personal or workspace Gmail account. It makes users to use CRM account as their primary inbox without having to switch between all of them. Next one, Sid. Some performance improvements we have made. For example, we have reduced some third-party system outages. We have optimized and enhanced system performance and made the platform more stable, as well as we have enhanced phishing protection, and that helps and detects block messages that contains phishing contents. Can we move to next slide, Sid? So now I'll talk about the upcoming releases in Q2. The first one being the ability to filter messages by channels. So currently we have all the messages in one pane without having the ability to filter through which communication channel they are coming into. So with this feature, we'll have the ability to filter through, let's say, email, WhatsApp, SMS, or any other channel that can be. Also, in this feature, we can add filtering by activity log as well. For example, we can filter by the attributes as mentioned, conversation, tasks, note, appointments. And also this will enhance the UI, and this will make it easy for users to track activity log, everything from the conversations level itself. Okay, yes. So one other feature to watch out for is the CC and BCC fields for outbound emails. So emails originating from GHL will now have CC and BCC fields. This will help improve visibility for all conversations and will improve the threading part. So this is something that we are currently working on, creating a new message. So we are improving the current feature that we have. Currently, we can only send SMS, but through this, we'll be able to send messages to all kinds of channels, for example, email, SMS, FB, GMB, as well as this will help make, reaching the feature more accessible, and will make it quite quick. Okay. So this is a big one that we're taking up in this quarter, that is enhancing the two-way sync. So currently we have two-way sync for Outlook and Gmail, but these are only enabled for inbound features. This ability will now seamlessly sync all emails to GHL, which are sent from Gmail or Outlook as well. And we'll have the ability to switch this feature on or off and seamlessly sync with CC and BCC emails between both platforms. This will make users to switch to GHL for their primary inbox.
I have a quick question about this. I set up the two-way sync on my sub account, which is by default Gmail SMTP. That seems to sync perfectly. Everything works fine. When I'm sending email from my partner's sub account, for example, which is on Mailgun, the sync doesn't happen. So is that by default, or is that a bug, or can you tell me?
So Glenn, I think I'll need more information on this. So you can
So to add to that, Samira, yeah. So hi, Glenn. So
Yes.
I think that it doesn't depend on that. It's a user level feature. I think I've responded to you on this as well. But anyway, I think this is something which is it doesn't matter what the location level configuration you have for the email settings. It is a user level feature. So it should work according to.
I'm the user in both cases. I'm logged in.
And have you?
And yes, so when I'm sending email from my sub account, from my Gmail, which is SMTP Gmail inside GHL, everything works fine. But when I'm in my customer sub account, my partner sub account, I'm sending same user, my email, everything's the same, but there is no sync, and they're on Mailgun.
Glenn, if you hop on live chat with us, I'll get one of our senior CRM specialists to take a look with you and get this solved.
Great. Can you shoot me a link that I can book on, or who I should book with?
If you just hop on live chat and just chat right away, we'll get somebody to hop on Zoom with you. All you have to do is ask.
Great. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Graham.
Thank you.
Okay, can we move to the next slide? Some other upcoming features that we'll be incorporating. First one, number of unread messages in the left conversation menu. So it will have a real number dynamically showing the number of unread conversations you have. It will be just a quick glance and a good to have feature. Next is the ability to download conversations. So currently we do not support downloading, exporting, or printing any kind of communication, SMS, email. So we'll enable this for let's say a select time period, and this is what we plan. That's all from my side. Over to you, Sid.
Thank you, Samita. Great. I think, yeah. Great. So to begin with, let's talk about all the items which have gone live in Q1 from the integrations and marketplace team. First and foremost, the two-way email sync for Outlook, and this is something which we covered with on the conversation side as well. But this is something for the Outlook as well. As long as you're initiating the email from the GHL, the emails will be in sync between both the platforms. And as Samita mentioned, in terms of getting the emails which are raised from the Outlook also will start getting synced with the CRM is something which we have for the quarter, and that should work with the Outlook as well. So this is the major one which we released. After that, we had the notifications manager as well. Primarily the first release, what we had on the notifications side, we had only very restricted number of channels which we can pick for notifications. And with this release, we also enabled mobile, we also enabled email, and desktop also for all the other additional notifications. And we also added a couple of more new notifications preferences in the settings. So this was another one. The other feature releases what we had on the GMB integration side. So connecting GMB page, one single page to multiple accounts is something which we went live with as well. And that will help all the messages and reviews flowing into all the accounts instead of one account, which is where the page is connected with. So that's one. Secondly, the connection improvements, what we have made. So we have seen a lot of tickets, and we have also received a lot of issues in terms of the connection is dropping. And, if the connection is established, also we are finding some issues in terms of messaging coming in or reviews coming in. So we have made a lot of changes in the connections as well to make it more stable and reliable. And we have seen also in terms of the support tickets going down because of this particular change drastically on the GMB side. The third one is again on the integration flow enhancement. So earlier there were a lot of issues which will block kind of making the connection successful, and we were not showing the right reasons why it's blocking, and that's the reason a lot of our customers also would get confused that why it is not getting connected. And we have implemented those changes where now if you go and connect a GMB page to an account, and if something which is needs to be done from the customer side, whether it is your website is not valid or your GMB page is not verified, we would show these errors upfront so that you know what step needs to be taken, and you don't need to reach out to support to understand what has gone wrong there. So again, these two, I think, that dramatically helped in terms of getting the support tickets down and also bringing a better user experience for our customers. Secondly, on the Facebook integration side, earlier we didn't have multi-select custom field option in the field form mapping, and we have gone live with that as well. So if you have some fields on the Facebook side, which is multi-selection, you can also start mapping that out in the field form mapping in GHL, and the data, the information will start getting populated accordingly. Again, integration flow improvements to make the connection stable and reliable. So we are working closely with the Facebook team as well to make sure that we understand why the issues are happening, whether it is connection drop, whether it is connections are expiring, or at the time of establishing the connection, it's not happening properly. So we have identified the core issues there, and we have made a lot of changes in the last quarter, and we'll continue to make changes in this quarter as well, so that at the end of the Q2, we have a more stable platform for the Facebook connection. Third one, performance and UI improvements. So a lot of our pages, and this is a continuous activity, and we'll keep on working on this in this quarter as well, where we kind of work on the existing pages, make the performance better, make the UI better, make the UX better. So at the end of the day, customers can have a better experience using them. And we also find, there are some, let's say, issues or bugs within the system. We also try to resolve them in the process, and also to make sure that, they are more efficient and they're more seamless going forward. So, and the last quarter, we have done changes on the audit logs page, which were on the agency side and the account side. We have made on the staff team page on the agency side, and the company page at the agency side. So that's more or less is what the last quarter looked like. Now, let me touch upon the next quarter, this quarter, and what is coming up. So primarily, we are focusing on two major areas from the integrations and marketplace team for this quarter. One of them is permissions. I think this has been highly asked and highly, it's been long pending. So we are going deep in permissions, starting with introducing an agency owner for agency account. So that's one. Secondly, we have seen a lot of feedback where customers are asking that if I enable settings, it also enables all the pages under settings. And I would like to give permissions to only a specific page instead of giving to all of them. And we have seen that happening for multiple other core modules as well. So the approach here is to kind of give you the options that if you under settings, all the list of pages, you can also enable and disable, and that will either view or hide for the end customer who you're giving the permission to. And also a lot of changes we would make to kind of make it more seamless and faster for you to kind of set permissions for users. So instead of doing it one by one, each user, you can just take a kind of a bulk action on this. So it becomes easier if you have a lot of users to add in the account and you don't want to go through this particular step one by again and again. So that's on the second part. And the third part is going more granular in the sub module. So basically giving permissions on the action level. So read, write. We would define this kind of permissions for modules, which is for the respective modules and where it's applicable, and we will be able to go deeper into all the permissions and set for a particular user base. So that's on the permission side. And moving on from this, not sure why my image is not showing here, but yeah, cool, perfect. So the app marketplace. So this is something which we have a long roadmap of, and we are very, very excited about this, and we definitely feel that this will be a huge benefit to our end customers also. Basically, what we're trying to build here is bring all the third-party applications built by developer community, and it is growing rapidly on a week-to-week, month-to-month basis. And we would like to kind of encourage them to build the applications which solves your problems, which solves your pain points, and get those applications into the integrations page. So you as a customer will be able to see all the applications listed. You'll be able to get a wide variety of choices. You will have a good definition of categories which you can find and understand that, kind of find the right application based on the use case or based on the pain point you have in mind. And it will also help you kind of build a more reliable connection, because we will be reviewing them. We will be they will be going through a proper due diligence process before getting listed on the marketplace at the customer's level. So you can be sure of the reliability, the security, the safe aspect of installing an application to your account. And this would happen on both the levels, for the agency also and for the sub account as well. And we also have ideas in terms of introducing revenue for this, introducing payments for this, and the agency also can add their markup and sell it to the end customer. So we have a long vision for this. In the end of Q2, I think we should have a good MVP launched here, where you'll be able to see the applications on the integrations page. You'll be starting to install them, and you can understand the wide variety of applications which are possible and available for your account. So that's on this. And apart from that, what we have in place is also LinkedIn lead ads integrations, just like what we have for TikTok and Facebook. You'll be able to integrate with your LinkedIn profile. And if you have lead ads going on, you can map them with your form and get those leads into CRM. So that's one. Secondly, on the Facebook and GMB side, allow multiple pages per account. This has been, again, highly voted, highly asked, that if I have 10 pages, how do I add 10 of them into one account, or maybe 2 of them or 3 of them, instead of creating each sub account and adding one of them to get the leads and the messages and the reviews. So this is something which we're working on and should be live by the end of Q2. And the second is, again, integrations, flow enhancements, and stability, as I mentioned earlier, that we are continuously, and this is going to be an ongoing process where we find the root causes, why the connection is breaking, why it is expiring, and we continue to work on them to make sure that the connections are stable and the customers are having a good experience. And the third and last but not the least, performance and UI improvements. Again, the modules and the pages which comes under this team will continue to work on them, continue to make sure that we have fixed the necessary bugs, the issues, the inefficiencies what we had in the pages, make them better in terms of UI, make them better in terms of UX, and make sure that they are good to use. So having said that, I think that's all from our side.
Sid, a quick question.
Hi, Glenn. Yeah.
Plus, I might have missed it. Did I read somewhere you guys expanding the objects, for example, not just customers and leads, but we could have vendors in the system and other types of contacts?
That's definitely in the roadmap, but that's not for this quarter, Glenn, at this point in time. But that's definitely we have in a site where, apart from customer and lead, you can also add your own type of customer type, and when a contact gets in to the system, you can choose which particular type you would like to assign to that. So I think Puru can add more comment to it, but it's not something which we have currently on our roadmap for Q2. But that's definitely we have, and if we have the bandwidth, if we have the resources, we would like to pick it up next. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Sid. You mentioned on the third-party integration that sub accounts may have access to it. Would we, as agency admins, have the option to make that available to the sub account if we don't want them to have that?
Definitely, yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
So you would have the permissions as well, and at an agency level, and also at a developer level, they'll be able to set, how do they, where this app should be listed, whether it's on the agency side or sub account side, and based on that, you can also set your own permissions. And if it's a payment app, if it's a paid app, sorry, you can also add your markup to it and have the reselling options for applications as well.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, Sid, a question on the V2A plan. Is there a plan to allow programmatic installation of apps? Right now, the process is the agency owner has to go and manually install it on each account. So it's sort of a two-part question. One, do you have something on your roadmap on making it easy to install it for, let's say, all of my sub accounts with one click? And the second one is are you ever going to support a programmatic way of installing that, where an agency just gives a blanket approval for anything, and as new accounts keep getting added, they don't have to go back and manually re-add them or authorize them for an app?
Right. So that's a great feedback. I think the first one, let me touch upon that, is making it more seamless and efficient for the agency owner to add apps in all the sub accounts instead of going to each one of them and installing them. We do have it in the roadmap, but that's not something we have on phase 1 and 2. That will eventually come for sure, but that's not something which we can expect on day 1. But that's a great feedback. We'll keep a note of that. And the second one, I think, again, right, so if you can, let me just go back to this again. So it will automatically, so right now what happens is you have to go to the marketplace at .gohighlevel.com to see the list of applications and add from there. The first step, what we're trying to do is kind of bring them into the sub-account level. So if you go to the integrations page, you'll be able to see all the applications which are applicable and should be visible at a sub-account level. This will also consist of our native integration. So what we build as a company, let's say Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, and those are also going to be listed. And this will also list the third-party applications as well. So they will be able to see and they can install from here also. So it automatically becomes much more easier and seamless than going to marketplace or go high level and kind of connect from there. But I will take a note of the feedback which you just gave and we'll look into it and see how soon can we kind of roll that out as well.
Thank you.
Cool. Nico, do you want to kick us off with Q&A? If you guys want to start throwing your questions into the chat, we can start from this point. Nico?
Yeah. We're already just posting the questions in the chat and we'll go through them. Here we are. The first one is going to be from Stockton. What is the ETA on the new analytics dashboard for memberships? Nilesh was saying those are coming soon, but got pushed back.
Yep. So it's almost there. Like we have been doing a lot of QA on the analytics part because like it involves a lot of efforts on the back end to put all the analytics in place. And therefore we wanted to be very sure before we roll out to everyone else. So it's almost there. Like I would still say it is a week away from getting live in production, but very close. Yep.
Awesome. You rock, Nilesh.
Thanks for the question. Next one we have is from Mary Sue. She's asking, is there an update on membership communities?
All right. So yeah, we have started with active development. The timelines are still intact. We would be launching or we would want to go live with membership communities, at least the beta version, by end of this month. We are on track right now unless we get hold of something which is...
Nilesh, I think, sorry for the interruption. Just, do you want to show the Figma? So we made a lot of changes in the last design iteration. Let's get some feedback from all our customers.
I would love to give feedback if possible as well. And a question off of that, is that going to be like, when people are added to those communities, is it going to be off of like the offer they're in, the product that they're in, manually adding, or how is that going to be tied to contacts?
I'll take like 5 minutes, Nico, to just run everyone through of what we are doing and how exactly communities would work. So the first things first is you see a new space called memberships in the left sidebar, which will have communities and courses. Courses is basically the membership aspect, like the product and courses what you already have. Communities is something that we are building, which will allow you to create groups. So you can create a group, you can name your group, you can add your brand colors, you can run your SEO, like give the meta fields for SEO. Once you create the group, you can see like each sub account, like at sub account level, you can create multiple groups in here. So you create the group and when you log into any of these groups, right, that becomes something like this. So here you can have discussions in place. You have a learning tab wherein your courses will stay. So someone who is part of the community can do discussions in one tab and simultaneously go through all the courses, tag each other, message each other. There are multiple channels in place, which means you can categorize the group, overall group, into multiple channels. Let's say you have a marketing chapter, you have a sales chapter, or you have a different, like you are into a real estate niche, you want to create channels for different geographical regions. So yep, you can create channels which can be either public or private. You can invite other members in the community. These groups can be either paid or free, whichever where you want. If it's a free group, people can just jump in and join your community. If it's a paid group, they need to pay you additional $, which can be a one-time payment or which can be a recurring payment. You can see member profiles and their contributions. So that when you click on profile, you will come here where you can see what they are doing inside your group, their posts, their comments. You can visit their full profile and see, hey, it looks like this is the community profile that they are into. You can set restrictions, so which means like you don't want everyone to be accepted in the community. You really want to put a gate on the sign up, so you can actually create forms which will pass on the data. Let's say, hey, upload your profile picture, tell me more about you before you get accepted inside the community. And what else? Yeah, this is the members page. Like you go to the members page, you see all the members that are part on your of your community, what they are doing and how they are interacting. And this pretty much covers everything that we are doing as part of the initial release that we have. We are gathering feedbacks, continuous feedbacks. I have been talking to a lot of people. If you want to give any feedback, just either drop me a message on Facebook, or if you already have my booking link, you can use that to book a call with me. While we were prioritizing the feedbacks, things that came up, which looks like are a much needed community features, are basically gatekeeping the post. Like when you do a post, it goes through approval process. We are not doing that in this release. Creating chat rooms was another item that was a much needed feature, but again, we are not doing that in this release. We wanted to get this out as soon as possible, which is end of April. So yeah, based on the time considerations, we are excluding those two, but rest of it, pretty much everything that we have seen just now will be out by end of this month.
Wow, awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Next question we have is from Gus. Maybe you can elaborate a little bit more on this as well. How about segregating the card by the next appointment? Are you here, Gus?
Oh, there we go. Yeah. So the cards, where the cards go and the opportunities, right? You can, ascending and descending by date. How about ascending and descending by next appointment? I don't think anybody really cares when the appointment was made. People do care about when the appointment is held. Make sense?
But opportunities are not tied to appointments per se. You may use them in that way.
Well, that makes sense. Okay, so that's just not going to happen.
Well, that's not to say it wouldn't happen, but it sounds like a new filter request that I would take to the ideas board.
Could it be off of like a use case would be if you're looking at like your leads and those are the people that I want to see whose appointments are coming up next in case they want to call and follow up beforehand and be like, hey, I see our appointments coming up and I wanted to chat or whatever that may be. But
it's 100% true, and it's a hell of a lot easier than looking at all the calendars.
Just go under where I look is under appointments on the calendar, not the calendar where all the things are, but the appointments one. It shows you both when it's booked and when it is. That's not going to solve your problem, but it's an option.
I mean, it could be, this is just sort of that common standard use case of most people have one appointment going at any one time for one contact. And so we should think through this construct of, could you, for example, we could adopt a heuristic across the app that it's like, sort by appointment and opportunity, which always means the last appointment or the most recent appointment for that contact.
Yeah, similar to like last conversation activity rather than like just last activity itself.
And we've got one client who is begging for that, to be able to sort in the opportunities by a custom field would be last contact or the last time.
Yeah, so I mean, what I would do, honestly, the other way you could think about it, Sid, is maybe you could just include the contact of the field, like latest appointment start date and time or something, or latest appointment or, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I would we have to be careful about what we choose. Like, is it the last appointment booked or the next appointment up? Because if there's 10 appointments, is it the next appointment in time that has, and that probably, you have to, I think that probably would make the most sense. But anyways, we just sort of like tag that into different places in the apps because it's just how humans operate. Most people don't have 10 appointments with one person at any time. They have one, and they're sort of thinking in their head about like that next appointment. It's just a use case I think that's worthy of being run down at some point soon.
Yep, sure, definitely. And we're also thinking in terms of as an activity, right? Because like appointment, we also have tasks which you can add at the opportunity level. So and you can also kind of have due date and time for that. So we are thinking on those lines that if you want to see the next activities which are due in a sorting order, or if you want to filter based on that. So we are thinking on those lines, but definitely great feedback. Let us look into it. Yep.
You know, I have a similar use case, not per se opportunities, but in general, like if you're out cold calling and you're sending out emails to people and doing stuff, right? And then, 4 or 5 days later, you go, I wanted to check the email that I sent the guy, that I send them the link in the thing, whatever it is. There's no like easy way to go back to like the last 10 contacts that I did some activity with, right? And for example, what I would love to see is an option, maybe when I pull up contacts on the screen, maybe a filter or a default or a setting where it's at, it's going to show me those last 10 or 20 contacts that I had some activity with, just so I can recall my brain, because I'm dealing with two companies and two different niche, well, similar niche, but two different companies, two different sub accounts, and I don't sometimes remember who I sent what to a week ago versus what I need to send this week. And just to be able to say, oh yeah, I sent Susan that, or I sent Tom that, or whatever the case may be, something like that makes sense. It's, again, about workflow type things, workflow, maybe human workflow, how we work.
Yep, definitely. Yep.
The next question we have is from Lee. Any chance to get the table for snapshots to be sortable, such as title and date?
I would take that. Nico, can you just come again? Like, what was the question?
Yeah, of course. Any chance to get the table for snapshots to be sortable?
Yep. We are adding the sort facility, sort option. So this quarter itself, like Q2, what we are completely revamping the list view of snapshot to our new micro front end, like the new UI. And with that, we will be adding paginations and sort options, which is not possible right now. So that is happening. Yep.
Awesome. Next one is from Melissa. We have a client with two-way Outlook sync and has to reconnect at the beginning of each month. Any ideas?
I've commented on that.
Yeah, he commented on that. I'm going to hit him up for that. Thanks.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Next one is from James. Is new lesson created trigger on the roadmap for memberships?
I already answered that, but I'll still take that for everyone else. So we are not adding new lesson created triggers, but what we are doing is we are working on a feature called announcements. It is basically a place where you can configure what kind of announcements. The announcements can be either email or in-app announcements, a dedicated announcement area inside your courses, what goes out there. So you can configure announcements like, hey, when I create a new lesson in a particular course, all my learners get this announcement that a new lesson is available. Or if you add a new course to an offer, let's say your offer bundle is like, let's say it's of 3 products, you add a new course to it into the same offer, you can send a similar announcement, or you can customize your announcements. Looks like you are holding a free masterclass maybe 2 weeks down the line and you want to shoot your link there and you want to make a public announcement to all your learners inside the course. So yeah, you can do those kind of announcements as well. So we are working on that feature, which will eventually solve for this particular use case. And yep, let me know if that answers your question, or is there any more details you want over here?
Can I throw out just a general observation or question here? I don't know about everybody. I can just tell you, I'm kind of overwhelmed with GHL and running a business and all the things that are going on. And you guys are releasing so many features so fast, which is, amazing. It's great. But the challenge is, how do we deploy or implement some of the new features and use them and get the time? Is it possible maybe after we do like a town hall like this or something, maybe for sometime this month, we schedule like, here's the new calendar and how it works, like an actual workshop, or here's the new features that were added to the CRM, and here's how you can, we can ask questions how to deploy them and use them. Because what happens is if you're not doing that, 3 months down the road, when you try to do something, it's like trying to recreate, the feature and what happened. Sean, can you comment on that perhaps?
Well,
so many things there, it's just so many things there. It's just so hard to get your head around them all. Sure. And unfortunately, if we just produce the software we actually want you guys to sell, half of you wouldn't be our customers. So we basically, just so everybody knows, we create most of these features just to like create a shiny object to attract you in. And then once we suck you in on that one feature,
it's called sell them what they want, give them what they need. So we sell you what you think you want, and then we throw that aside, and then we give you what you actually need, which is you should all be selling SaaS. And so we have the SaaSpreneur course coming out, and it's going to define specifically, hey, listen, these are the things you should be selling to all small businesses. And this may not apply to Glenn because he's like a business to business CRM guru dude, but in general, most of you should be selling, very basic features to most of your clients, right? But you're not. And so yes, Glenn, we will absolutely, and we should do more in-depth education. So direct answer to your question is, we're investing tremendously on the education side. But in general, I would advise against the sort of the way you sort of start your question. That's like, I tell this to people all the time, like, please don't try to learn everything high level does, right? Please try to make money off of high level, and be okay if that means you only use like 1% of the feature set. I mean, I would love it someday if I find that someone's only using missed call text back and has built like a $20 million business on missed call text back and does nothing else. Because I can tell you, like, the one HVAC guy I still have as a client, he just uses reputation management, and that's it. He never logs in. He doesn't even know the system exists. He just knows he keeps getting more reviews, positive reviews every month. And he just keeps getting bigger and bigger as a business because his GMV thing keeps going up and his number of people he gets buying his services keeps going up, and that's it. So we really add most of these features just to head fake you guys to sign up. But reality is most of the money is made in the SaaS features.
I knew it. Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's just that,
But yeah, I mean, we could put lots of really in-depth, and we'll probably do that, but lots of in-depth like Zoom calls and record them and all of that, just to kind of work through and go through in-depth on all those features. Because absolutely, if that's your feature, if that's a feature you love and hold dear, we want you to know how it works, and we want you to understand it, and you want all of those
already
things.
happens today as well, because this is the training that Alicia's team does, once 3 days a week, right? They go for an hour in the group and they really deep dive on one particular product area.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, maybe I'm just not aware. Again, there's so many things going on.
Sign up for the daily Q&As and see what you think. But here, just show of hands, who here is not selling SaaS? Yeah, see?
Well, I'm selling both.
Wrong answer, right? All of you are losing money. All of you getting crushed by SaaSpreneurs because they scale better, they have higher margin and way lower churn. And that's the point. But that's okay,
Sean,
because we can get you in off of something to get you down the SaaSpreneur route. I'm telling you, you'll all go that way eventually because that's where the money is.
So, Sean, do you want to share that Stripe metric that we discussed yesterday, the single day earning of our connected accounts?
Go for it. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Okay,
but you do it.
Okay. Yeah. So to everyone on this call, every time you connect your Stripe account to high level, it becomes a connected account. And when we run reports, we can figure out that how much money collectively all of you are making, right? So the major portion of the connected revenue on our platform comes from SaaS related purchases and rebilling and stuff. And yesterday in a single day, 1.36 million got transacted. So it feels like people are making a lot of money using SaaS mode. And that's why you would see that the majority of our own revenue comes from the Pro plan. So that is the future, and that's what the market is telling us.
But don't worry, Glenn, we will continue to invest heavily in education. So don't worry about that. I will say the SaaSpreneur course coming out next. And we're also gonna have a 5-day challenge for selling missed call text back. And then, but Alicia's team also does, and will continue to do both. They do, I think it's daily Q&As now around different topic areas that they tell you up front. You can see it in the Facebook group. I think it's on the events page. We repost all of the recordings in the YouTube channel as well. So they're all there. And then you can sign up for ahead of time if there's a specific topic area that you're interested in. And then on just in general with her team, we're also going to be rolling out a certification program, which she's going to run. And that certification program, I also think will be a great platform to go really deep on a lot of these features. So Sean, we'll continue to bang away on that.
Yeah, I mean, again, like memberships, right? I haven't even touched memberships, and I have a partner who's a 41-year software company with hundreds, thousands of users.
Yeah,
and we'd love to set up a membership with training and stuff, but like I have no idea how to like.
Yeah, but you know what? The first thing I would say, like, right, is have you read all the docs and copious amounts of information already that are sitting there?
On membership? No, because I'm just trying to
All right,
survive.
so
day
call
by
me when
day.
you do, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think the problem is if you do that and you say, look, Sean, I've read all that stuff. I've watched all the videos. I've tried it myself. I'm still confused. That's one thing. To be honest, Glenn, I mean, I've watched a lot of boring webinars that copiously cover lots of top areas, and I just tend to wake up at the end because I fell asleep. I don't want to learn jack. What generally happens is you get a little primer, you jump in life, and you try stuff out, and you see where you run up against the bumps. And then you either read the docs or bomb out for help. That's why we have really what we're focused on is like hiring 80 more people for the success team, just so it's easier and easier and easier every day to get a hold of somebody on Zoom. Because what I find most people are saying, and probably you included, help me, do this for me, do this with me, hold my hand, right? So, I mean, I can give you a webinar for days, but you're just going to fall, even you'll fall asleep. Glenn.
Shameless plug. We do have an interactive little training program that helps you get your hands dirty in the system.
There you go. If you want to.
And we just won the affiliate course too in February for high level. Cool.
So there you go. Shameless plug. But just on our side in general, I find it's really a lot more about making sure our docs are really good, running all kinds of daily Q&As, having live Zoom success rooms. Does anybody not know about the success room, actually, while we're here? Anybody not know about the success room? Somebody dropped a link to the success room just on the off chance nobody knows about the success room. It is full of human beings that are just there to try to help you get set up. So we're investing just crap tons of money, you have no idea, into just expanding out these teams so that at any time, whether you're a new user or an advanced user, but you're just trying, like Glenn is saying, like, hey, I want to try memberships now. You can jump in and be like, hey, I'm here to learn about memberships. Can you help me get this set up? It's on Zoom. We can share screens, all that stuff. Try to do an awesome job for you. What's next, Nico?
The next question we have is there any update on WhatsApp?
Come on, Varun, Robin, when do you guys come off mic and give us the update? We got good updates.
I mean, the update is we signed a bunch of contracts. So for the longest time, it was we're waiting for Meta to come back. And Robin finally somehow found our account manager to get us access. They gave verbal confirmation a few weeks back, but we were really waiting to sign something before we could do it. So we've signed a bunch of legal documents. I think in the next week or so, they should actually turn it on for us. And once they turn it on, our goal is, in a few weeks or something, have it in all of
yesterday. Yesterday, I signed the anti-corruption and compliance training for third parties document that I was sent. Don't tell them that, but I don't actually 100% understand it. I just signed it. But what they're telling us is all these things have to be signed in order for us to go live with them. But we have also been told that we're weeks away from access to the API. So that's what we're on the edge of our seats. And just so everybody understands, the reason we did this is because this is their official route. And there are a lot of these things in tech that people may or may not know, but some of these things are just all about knowing the right people and climbing the hill and banging on the door for 6 to 9 months to get your attention. But the reason you do it is because the list of people who make it on the other side is very slim. And once you make it on the other side, what you know is you're complying officially with what that company wants you to do versus some hack job workaround backdoor that's going to get shut down at some point. And we just don't like building on stuff that we know is going to crumble. So for all the people who there's this guy or that guy who has some way to access the API unofficially. It's kind of like LinkedIn messaging. The reason we don't do it is because it's not officially supported. And I'm not going to get a letter from the Microsoft attorneys threatening a lawsuit and then have to kill that service for all of you. So while it is a pain in the butt to get these fools to move, the nice thing about it is once they do move, there's a lot of longevity and a lot more solid structure there. And we'd much rather put something out that you guys can rely on. It's something that's some, backroom hack job workaround. But we're close. That's the good news here.
It is good news. Next question we have is from Melissa. Can we remove the ability for a client to remove other users from everywhere instead of just a location? She's saying that it's causing a lot of problems for them.
So like they delete the user at the location level, but it deletes them from all other locations as
They
well.
have the option between delete from all or delete just from location. And I'd say at least once a week, one of our clients deletes a VA.
So is this
or
like
somebody.
my client's an idiot? Can you help me protect
Yes.
them? Yes.
Because we have told them so many times and they still, it just happened again this week.
Yeah.
And when they delete, I mean, they delete my
Everything.
entire account, all 3 of my websites, everything gone. Bad, very bad.
So basically, like if they're a user.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. Sid, you're up.
Yep.
This is you.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So I think we can definitely add some checks there and kind of tie that particular action that the user gets deleted from all the
I mean,
locations to a
the other
particular
piece is right.
role
If
level.
it's a location user and they're trying to remove someone, I guess the VAs also won't be agency accounts. They'll be location accounts just with certain accounts access. Or are they agency users in your case, Melissa?
Yeah, the agency should be able to delete somebody completely, but not the client.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but when the client
Perfect.
deletes a user, is the user the client is deleting an agency user or is it a location user?
Did you catch that, Steph?
No,
They're
Say that
deleting.
again?
Is
They're
the
deleting
person
an
that they're
agency-
deleting an agency level user or just a sub account level
Stop
user?
yelling at me.
Just
I don't know. It's like I'm just doing to you what other people like what I see other people do. Like you
I
just
guess
you don't
over
understand
here,
it. You
there
just
won't be
yell
any-
louder.
There won't be
Usually
any.
they're VA. So we have a number of certified VAs and so they work
That
with our
makes sense.
clients. And then the client decides they don't want to work with that person anymore. They're deleting. So that person is an admin in their account because they have to be able
But
to do it.
they're not an agency.
So I think the
user.
way to treat this, right, Sid, is if a location user is about to delete someone, if that user is a part of multiple accounts, they can't ever fully delete them. Just allow them to only delete it from that one account, like only remove from account.
Yeah.
That's it.
They can only like any sub account user should only be able to remove from location. Only agency users should be able to delete them entirely.
No, so I think there might be cases where I added a user to my own account. I still want to be able to delete them. I think the way we draw that line is if that user exists in multiple accounts, then you're not able to delete them completely. You're only able to remove them from the current account.
Yeah, otherwise the
that
SaaS
note-
business owners would.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
and
That makes sense.
I think, does that make sense, Sid?
Yeah.
Yep.
Seems to. Yeah, you kind of
On
need.
that note, we talked last month about permissions for like the agency account, like a head admin.
Super
is
admin,
that still
yeah.
something like a super admin? Yeah. Is that
Yeah.
still something
Yeah.
that we were talking about?
I think they presented that in the roadmap today.
Yeah.
They're bringing an agency owner role. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Sorry, I missed that.
Perfect. Next question's from Marissa. Is there any update on the basic reporting section with automated reports sent to clients?
Pick me. Okay.
Well, that'd be
It's
good.
live right now. It went live today. I just haven't had a chance to do my video yet.
Cool.
Done.
Wonderful.
Live. So if you go into here, let's go look at this together. I have it up on my screen, I think. Hold on. So if you go into your sub accounts, so like sub accounts, back to sub accounts. By the way, if I click into a sub account and I hit the sub accounts thing, it should switch. But anyways, so then you go to reports and then you can click edit schedule and you can actually schedule out that report right here. And then
And
I
I
think
don't think
there's
it's live, Sean. So
what do you
there is
mean it's
no.
not live? No, be quiet. It is live. Reshma said it was live.
That's the prospecting tool. You're talking about the report.
Yeah,
here.
prospecting.
Oh man, the
tool is
report's
live.
not live yet. Come on, it's supposed to go live today. All right,
No,
well,
I think
never mind. I take it back.
Sharmishta
Just
is
kidding.
waiting on something.
Damn it.
Yeah, she just dropped off.
Ah,
She's working on.
fine. It's almost live. It was supposed to go live on Monday, and then it was Tuesday, and then it was Wednesday, but it's coming soon, real soon. But it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait. Anyway, so it's
I
live
have
in
a
my.
super quick question about this. Are we going to be able to turn this on for all accounts or do we have to do it individually?
Okay, so yeah, I love that. You are amazing. I love you.
I've got
So
thousands of users. Please don't say it's individual.
I know. Okay, so here's the problem with haters, though. So the problem is if you turn this on for everybody, you're gonna get a lot of haters because haters love to hate. That's what what's her name taught me. And so the issue is by default, I've asked that new accounts it's on automatically because I think it's going to be amazing. And if you don't like it, you can turn it off. But I don't think that there's not going to be a mass way to enable it. So you will have to enable it manually for everybody initially.
Okay.
But on a go forward basis, it should be automatic.
Okay.
That's right. Taylor Swift. Thank you, Heidi.
Thank you.
I bought that
So
shirt, by the way, at one point. I had a t-shirt. Haters gonna hate.
So one of the features that we are planning is, so once you create this report for one sub account, it will ask you a question and it will say, do you want to schedule the same report for other clients as well? And it will just allow you to pick clients and then that's it. Now, it is not the full solution. Yeah, so we are planning that, just give us like
when does it go
2-3
live?
weeks. No, Sean, we are yet to work on that enhancement.
No, when does this report go
live?
live? When does the current version go live? I thought it was this week.
Yeah, it will go out. Yeah, it will go out this week. Like we are still testing it out. We have some of the things to run down. Once they are done, like we'll release it out in this week or probably next week Monday. Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
Go live date.
It's gonna go live next week.
So it might go out this week or next week. The main
All right,
idea.
I'm gonna say it's going out next week. And then if it doesn't go out, then everyone will be excited because it went out early. Cool.
A quick Pooja question. I might have missed it. Are you guys planning, or can you tell me where on the roadmap it is, like to bring RSS content and stuff into social media posting capability?
Yep. So it's in our plans. We don't have it in quarter two. Quarter two, we are targeting on few big things in terms of like Instagram story, reels, and YouTube part of it. So I guess like this will be part of a quarter two or quarter three initial start. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Perfect. Next question we have is from Kathy. Can we vote for marketplace apps?
You mean like reviews or something?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Okay,
Feel free
you
to
guys,
my-
hey, you guys just showed the marketplace apps of the integrations that you're
Yeah,
going to have
yeah.
coming. I
Yeah.
think it would be cool if we could vote for what we'd like as
No.
end
I think you
users.
missed it. That apps
Oh.
market is like us saying, hey, here's an apps market. If you want to put an app in there, go for it. We're going to expose it to all the users and make it happen and all that other stuff. Now, that doesn't mean we don't have our own integrations, right? You've seen Slack, you've seen Google Sheets, right? You've seen that kind of stuff. So you can always vote for that. That's already there. You can do that right now in the ideas list.
Gotcha.
I just pasted Kathy on the comment. We have a marketplace board. Just add your comment there.
Awesome. Thank you.
But in general, like the whole idea here is to make it formally easier for people who want to put apps in the market, want to get exposure to our user base, want to get distribution, to just make it easier for them to do so. And then for some people, they're going to want to charge. I think most people will want to charge for their app. So like we have like Uphex right now, who I think is doing a really good job with ad buying and stuff. They would be an app in the marketplace and not just depend on spotlight sessions and other methods to get their word out, that actually be there. And then we'll layer in things like reviews and all that stuff. So that way, if you don't know who they are, you can get exposure to them.
Cool.
Next question we have is, I saw on the dev Slack channel that V1 is officially on a depreciation path. Is there a timeline on when V1 would stop working?
No, that I'm aware of at this time. But I choose sooner rather than later. But what I have come to understand is there are several endpoints that are still in existence on V1 that have not yet been transitioned to V2. And I don't think it's very fair to kill V2. or
So
V1.
none of that is true. I think all
Oh,
endpoints
good. None of it is true. Excellent. Yes, all of V1 endpoints are now on V2, says Varun.
But I think with removing support for it, but going to go in phases. We will definitely, start hiding the page. We won't show it to new people, and there will be a path, but we're not going to pull it suddenly without notice from under the group.
Yeah, that's true. That's the other big thing. I feel like we would give people like a 6-month warning or something.
Yeah, like 6 months or a year before it goes
But
away.
if it's true, if what Varun said is true, and he rarely says things that are inaccurate, unlike myself, I highly recommend don't be using V1. You're a fool if you be coding on V1. So move over. Today's your day. It's kind of like, for those of you still using campaigns and triggers, same deal. Move over to workflows, because eventually I will kill those too. Stop using an inferior, old school version of what workflows has already destroyed. Move over before you get the notice that it's going away. But yes, we will be respectful in both of those cases and give ample amounts of notice. In my opinion, 6 months for probably both of those.
Yeah, my question is to Sean. Sean, one request.
There you go. Hold on, just real quick, Varun. Somebody just put a challenge down there for you in the chat. They said you can't create location endpoints or something, or not in V2. So if you might want to call BS on that if you can.
No, so
Sorry,
they
go
did
ahead.
release the agency API, so you can create locations, but I will throw a link or something in there.
Perfect. There you go. Boom. All right. Now, what was the question? Who was asking me something?
Yeah, I was asking Sean and the high-level team to make one feature called quiz funnel feature in your roadmap. Actually, that will help us in
What is it? Sorry.
Quiz funnel. There are a lot of other quiz. QUI. Quiz.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, because I mean something like bucket.io, or there are a lot of other products. No, I should not mention the name, just to make you understand that actually that helps us in our front-end funnel to keep, I mean, without advertisement, and that has a good, I mean,
You've seen surveys, right?
Survey is a bit different, and I would request the other features of quiz funnel in a product like which are front runner in today's date. They have a lot of good features, and directly if we can have that, that is actually very much helpful and getting leads.
So who owns that? Is that NASA? NASA, you own that, right?
No, one product I can tell you, Ryan Levesque. Ryan Levesque is I think his company Ask Method. They have a site product called bucket.io. So the bucket.io,
they've been out for a long time. I know what you're talking about. By the way, you should tell them to integrate with us. But yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea. NASA, you own that, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes,
Cool. Yeah. I mean, I let smarter people deal with that. Don't ask me, because whenever somebody asks me to answer a bunch of crappy questions in order to make a purchase, I just don't buy from them. But that's me. I'm like, guess what? I have money. You want it? Get the hell out my way and make this easy on me. But you want to quiz me and ask me my income or my credit score? Forget you then. I'll be buying from your competitor. But I understand some people like filling that crap out. So I get it. That's why NASA owns it and I don't.
Thank you, sir.
But don't worry, NASA will run that down. He will put it on his roadmap. He will look at it as a potential feature, but make sure it's on the ideas list, because remember, it's easy to say, I'd love this feature that I once saw on the internet somewhere. It's a lot harder to actually build those things. And we go as fast as we gosh darn can, but we always go by votes because we know that that's the better way to do it. And I would just like to say, Sean Jones has a very legitly cool looking picture when his camera's off. He looks like
I would also request NASA to just do a research that quiz funnel actually help in any niche.
Yeah. No, he's got it. So you guys take that conversation offline. Nico, what we got next?
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question's from Jake. This was an old roadmap item. Not sure if
I know what you're saying. Shivam, this is you, I think, this is the multi-brands, right?
Yeah. Agency ability to create different brands.
Yep.
Yes. So over there, what we are doing is the first thing, I mean, before we build that feature, we need to build 3 other features because it is dependent on it. So when you create multiple brands, you would also want more plans. So we had to build multiple plans. One of the other top voted ideas was to allow for a user limit and a contact limit on the SaaS plans. So that got bundled in. And before we can do any of that, we need to create more real estate on the SaaS configurator. So currently, if you look at the SaaS configurator, it goes left to right, and those are the 3 plans that you're allowed. But let's say we want to support 20 plans. So the same UI framework wasn't going to work. So we are reworking the SaaS configurator itself. It is a new sleek UI. It looks amazing. And you can create like up to 20 plans over there. And then later on, we'll squeeze in, and yeah, another update. So one of the top requests was, please allow me to unlock the lock features. So there are certain lock features on the base plan, and agencies wanted to change that. So we will give you control over that as well. So all of that would get bundled in so that you can leverage the multiple brand more effectively. Like if we release multiple brand right now as is, very few people would be able to do what they want to do with it. That is the plan. Multiple brands probably next quarter. But everything else that I mentioned on which multiple brands depend on, that would be achieved in this quarter.
Got it. I totally get that. Sounds great. So in the scenario that I have, where if I say a solar company that he has multiple agents, he wants to offer my services to, but he wants it white labeled to his own company, so it looks like his product. Do I just need to get another high level account?
Yeah, just go sign up for another high level account. That's how we've done it forever.
Gotcha. And then the branding thing will solve this in the future.
Eventually,
But
yes.
Q3 maybe, something like that, or it's too much.
So, friend who
Shivam, when? Q3?
Yeah, Q3, yes.
Yeah, you got terrible somebody's got terrible background noise. Okay, Q3. Okay, next question, Nico.
Yeah. Next one is from Jenna. Announcements customizable to the top of the high level would be super cool. She's saying, think the Yex bar, but customizable.
Love that idea. Ideas list for you, because yet another great feature that needs votes.
And one moment, scrolling. Next one is Austin. We're pitching 25,000 entrepreneurs this month to a community. Impossible not to be. No, I'm sorry, that's not a question.
That is a great comment. I'm excited to see how many people come sign up.
I have a quick question about SEO. We're looking to acquire a brand. It's getting 100,000 organic page views a month. And is there going to be SEO strength in the future with the amount of substantial businesses on Go High Level? Like, or are we forced to stick on WordPress for SEO?
I mean, this question is such garbage for me because it's like, I don't get it. So first of all, the number of people on this call who have ever read the original white paper as produced by the 2 co-founders of Google that explain the basis for how Google operates is almost zero, for the record. And even of the subset of people on this call who sell SEO have read that white paper is damn near zero. But all that to say, it's HTML at the end of the day. The code that hits the web, whether it's our builder or any other builder, it's the same language. So there's I'm sure there's some nitpicky items, but in general on this concept of SEO, there's no reason whatsoever on planet Earth that our stuff can't rank as well as WordPress. WordPress, by the way, there is no magic there. There is no like, Google doesn't look at it and be like, oh, it's a WordPress website. Well, God, I'm going to shoot that up to the top. It doesn't work like that.
Beautiful. So we can acquire the brand, import it, and without the stress or fear of
and if you're sweating it, just use our WordPress hosting.
Yeah, you bet. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
Perfect. Next question is from Stephanie. Can we sign up to be on the wait list for the SaaS course?
Man, I wish Chase Buckner were here. Robin, somebody, Wesley, anybody here from marketing who can help that? Okay, Chase at gohighlevel.com. Email that dude. That's what he gets for dropping off the call. Be like, hey, I want to be on the set. I can't wait for that course either. I want to be on the waiting list for that course too. I'm super excited. Next question
is from Mary. Is there a way planned for sub accounts to not be able to delete users and only remove? Oh, we've already done that one.
You already answered that. Yeah, you already answered that question.
Yeah.
Thank
Next
you.
one.
Scrolling. Hi there. In the V2 API search conversations endpoint, we are unable to see or retrieve the Twilio voicemail URL. We also have no ability to get that URL in the UI without clicking into the voicemail and copy/pasting the link. This link is...
Nico replied to that.
Oh, okay. Sorry. It was a very long one. Trying to go quick here.
Thanks, Nico. We know it's hard. We appreciate you.
When you click the plus button to create a new contact, you can upload a picture. Where does that picture show up in the contact record? Where would you add/edit it there after the fact? From James Hurst.
Good question. Sid, that's a you question, isn't it?
Sorry,
So when you hear the question?
Yeah. No, I couldn't.
No, when you add a picture to a contact, like where does it show up? How do I edit it later? Like what's the point? I swear I saw a new UI rev on this.
Yes. So we do have plans to add in the contact details page, the picture as well. Currently, we don't have it, but we do have it in the roadmap.
I think the truth of the matter is it was part of it. It looked really nice in the original UI, so I think we rolled it out and made it work. But then I think it's tantamount to worthless at the moment, but it's going to be less worthless in a minute. Because I think Sid's team realized that it wasn't being used anywhere, and they were like, "Wait a second." So they're going to make it so that it shows up in the contacts list. I think, right? You said
contact details page, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So you'll see it like instead it'll swap the avatar out like it honestly should have all along. And then I even think the mobile team's going to do this too, or if they haven't already. Actually, it may actually show up on the mobile app today. I don't know, but it will soon. So yeah, that's where it will be in a minute.
Perfect. Next one is from Stephanie. Can we turn off the location, deleted, paused, etc. email notifications for specific admins?
I don't know
What
who that
happens is we manually pause accounts for whatever reason, but we literally do like hundreds of them.
Oh no, I feel you. I just trying to figure out who on my team
And
that's like.
I don't care about them, but the CEO of our company gets and I feel
Trust
really
me,
bad.
the people have to deal with my garbage all the time, so I feel you. Shivam, is that you? Maybe it feels sassy to me.
What's the question?
So you like when they turn off accounts, we send out this email like your account has been paused, and they like do it a lot for some weird screwy reason, and they just don't want the alerts to be going out, or they want to choose who the alerts go out to, or
On like the agency admin level. So right now we have like, let's say 10 agency admins just because they need the access. I really only need like one of those people getting that
Got it. So
notification.
you're talking about,
The
okay,
account has
okay.
been
So you're
paused.
talking about your billing notifications and not your client's billing notifications.
Not our clients. No, not our
Okay,
clients.
got it. Yeah. So actually, so when we were building these notifications, right? So let's say for some reason your card doesn't work and we need to notify someone in the agency. Since we did not have the agency owner role, the best we could do is, hey, let's notify all the agency admins.
Right.
So, I mean, that's one of the reasons why we are creating the agency owner role, because all of these critical information, it should go only to the agency owner and not to all admins. So we are working on that. It will be fixed in the next couple of months.
Thank you.
Q2 is the answer. Awesome. Thank you. Next question.
The next question is, there's two parts to it. Any time frame for creating multiple brand so we can have different prices,
Q3,
structures.
that was answered earlier.
Okay, cool. And then the second part is there any plan to have more than 3 pricing plans available, at least for SaaS accounts?
Yes, 20 this quarter, according to Shivam this morning. Well, actually,
Beautiful.
technically, I think some of actually, I forgot the name of the product manager, but related to Shivam.
What was
Perfect.
that question?
How many more can we have multiple pricing plans?
Oh.
Yes, up to
Yeah.
20 launching this
Yeah.
quarter.
Yeah, Q2.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, up to 20 plans this quarter.
Next question.
The next question is, can we expect attachments to be forwarded along with emails anytime soon when using the email forward feature from the location settings?
That seems actually like it. How, Vern, is that not how it should work? Or Sid?
What was the
Isn't that
question?
like- so we have like the email forwarding setting. It'll forward the email, but it's not forwarding the attachment. Doesn't that seem just like a miss?
Yeah. So I think Sid, you can take that back.
I'll run that down. Yes. So I
Yeah,
think,
that's a
I
bug.
will
So
look
the
into it
answer is
and-
yes.
I agree.
And,
Unfortunately, it's not there. I got the information from support, so actually it's not there, and my customer.
Oh no, yeah.
Right.
It's good. We'll run it down. We'll fix that. That's not like not a big deal.
Perfect.
Good question. Thank you for mentioning it.
Next question's from Stephanie. She's asking if there's a Slack channel for Go High Level that she could join.
No.
The next one is we're coming up to.
And in fact, those of you who are in our Slack channel at some point in the future, be ready to be kicked out. Not that we don't love you, but it's over freaking whelming. You got to realize from our perspective that the number of people who message me, Slack me, Facebook tag me, right? It's like, and it's not me. I'm not, that's just my experience, but do that to every other person on my team. It's crazy. And it's too hard to, the bigger problem is it's just too hard to manage. Like when someone's like on Slack, it's like, blah, 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 whatever it is. It's like, there's no ticketing there. There's no tracking. There's no history. Like it's impossible to manage. So that's why we don't do it that way. We love talking to people. I mean, I'll just sit here and talk at you all day. But reality is that I want to solve your problems. And I know at this point to scale this, we have to be able to track it. And the other thing is behind the scenes, we KPI the heck out of this stuff because we have like L1, L2, L3 support, and then it goes to dev. And we need to know like L1. So we have these new standards, like L1 can only hold on to something for so long. And then it has to go L2, it has to go L3, and then it has to go to dev. And then once it does, it's like, hey, is dev doing a good job? How long is it taking? We have to be able to KPI that stuff categorically. Otherwise, we don't know if we're doing a good job versus, hey, Sean, I slacked you this message about this thing. It's chaos. Anyways, more than you want to know, but the answer is no. Next question. Sorry, Nico.
No, you're good. Next one is from Melissa. If I buy a second account now, will I be able to move it over when we have the ability to have multiple brand accounts?
No, I would. Yeah,
no, I love that
be a
answer.
problem.
Okay, no, the answer is no. I mean, we can move sub accounts and stuff, Shivam. I don't know if you're probably going to have to tackle that use case. But I would say not at first. How about that? Maybe not ever. I'm not sure. We're not going to commit to that.
So are you planning to do SaaS on the second brand?
Well,
Yes.
of course. I mean, think
Yes,
about the
I
absolute.
started-
Just think about the worst case scenario, man. Come on, just.
Yes,
Yeah.
I started by
Sure.
selling everything and I don't want to sell everything anymore, but I don't want to shut down my first account. I want to start a new account where I'm not selling everything anymore because Sean told me to.
Yeah,
that's right. But but you know what? Just stop selling everything. Like moving forward. Why can't you just change the deal moving forward?
I'm afraid it's going to change everybody and I'm going to have a mass exit.
Well, then just get on with Shivam or something. Like he'll hold your hand and or help you
Okay.
out. Don't,
All right,
just,
thank
like
you.
walk it. We'll just walk. You know, like we'll make sure you're good. But no, don't do that. That doesn't
Okay.
make any sense. Next question.
Next one is from Zach. White label mobile app customizer shows in progress on the roadmap.
Oh my God, that's so close. Neelashish told me, I'm telling you, it's going to change everyone's world. The white label mobile app customizer is like the coolest thing ever. You can literally like add custom menus and everything else. And Neelashish, are you on this call?
Yep.
Oh, awesome. I'll let you talk. When's this coming out?
So you're talking about the customizer, right? When is it?
Yes.
Yeah, the white label.
Yes. The white label app customizer.
It's coming out soon. Like it's coming out in like 2 weeks. They're already there. But yeah, Shivam has pulled up this thing.
Awesome.
2
So a
weeks.
couple of things. Yeah, so a couple of things. First of all, as an agency, you would be able to choose which app you want to offer to your clients. Like you can choose between the high level app, the lead connector app, and your own custom brand. So let's say you want to offer your own custom brand. So how do you go about building your app? So you would upload your logo and you will be able to see a preview of how the app is going to look like. You can create your profile. You can create your, Oh yeah, I had to start from here. So you will be able to customize the mobile app by providing all the branding and all the logos and everything. And this is how it looks like. So you can pick all the colors, whatever color scheme you like. We will automatically generate the color palette for you based upon the proper contrast that a UI should have. And yeah, you can select the fonts, you can select the menus, the order of the menus that is suited for your business, the font family and everything. So yeah, you can customize pretty much all aspects of this, what you want to show and what you want to hide. And at the location level, like what is your client experience going to be like? So regardless of whether you pick the high level app or the lead connector app or the white label app, your clients will see the corresponding links and they will be able to copy this and send it to themselves to download it on their mobile phones, or they would be able to invite their team members, or you would be able to invite your clients to download the app, whichever app you choose. Yeah, so those are some things. So this is how you pick all the users in the location.
And the coolest part actually is the custom left menu items. That's the coolest part of it all, in my opinion.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Add your own custom menu items.
Very
Just
cool.
to add, Shivam, even the custom menu items will be white label mobile app first, like lead connector and high level will still continue to offer what we have now. If you want custom menu items in your mobile app right now, get a white label app and then use the customizer to add custom menu links on the menu.
Perfect. Good question. All right. What's next?
Next one is from Austin. Is there going to be any second tier referral tracking or any updates to affiliate feature we can be aware of the coming soon?
Sharmishta, are you here?
I don't think she is,
No,
but Nasa can take that.
Shamisa dropped off for another call. So yeah, the second level commissioning is definitely it's in our roadmap, and I don't think it is for Q2. Probably in Q3 we will take it up.
Perfect. Just a few more questions and then we are
By the way,
done.
there's more to that question, by the way. Where can they go see the roadmap? Like, so the other question is, have all the product managers updated the roadmaps in Canny so that people can go look?
Let me check. I don't think completely it is there.
All right. So we're right in the middle of the rounding out the roadmap discussions for Q2. It's almost like it's 98% done. So there's a whole roadmap ready to rock, like for pretty much everything, but like specific just now to the affiliate management. There's a bunch of stuff. So we'll have, if you go to ideas.gohighlevel.com, there's a roadmap section. I'll make sure that the product managers get that updated in the next week or so, and you'll actually be able to look like section for section in the app exactly what's coming in the roadmap.
Perfect. Next one is from Thiago. When is it going to be another language like Portuguese or Spanish?
Yes, let's talk about that. NASA, boom, drop some good stuff here.
Yes, so definitely we have, our approach that is going to be is that part by part, we want to start translating the content. So currently already CRM and the calendar sections are translated into six languages.
What are the 6 languages people are going to ask? That's the next question. I can feel it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So Spanish, French, Canadian French, France French, both the Portuguese, Portugal Portuguese and the Brazilian Portuguese. On top of it, again, Croatian language. So these are the languages where the translations are done.
It's a very odd choice on that last one. I respect it, but it's just odd.
Yeah, so I mean, in our community,
I thought German would make an appearance, but no, it's Croatian first. We must have a Croatian speaker.
The order, I think what NASA is saying is the others are out as well. This is what's already done.
That's what I'm saying. No. I just think it's funny, right? But it's cool. We must have a Croatian speaker somewhere in the mix.
There was one very passionate customer from Croatia. He said, "Just give me everything. It doesn't matter how many words. I just translate it for you." I just sent it to him in a day. He turned it over. So we have the complete list for CRM and the calendars. So he's ready to do like any amount of translation. So probably that will be the first language that will be like completely done, I think. So anyway, so right now we are looking at releasing the calendar translations live very soon, probably as early as either end of this week or early next week is what we are looking at. Then incrementally, each of the product areas, as and when they become available, we'll start releasing them in those languages. So our priorities are.
Go ahead.
Yes, John. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, our priorities are going to be Spanish, Portuguese, both in Brazilian and the Portugal languages, and French in Canadian and the France French. So these are our highest on our priority list. So as and when those translations are available, we'll start releasing them.
So the goal here is simple, folks. Every time you've seen that new UI that we've been popping in, not only is it nicer looking, in my humble opinion, but it also is ready to rock for internationalization. And in general, my team tries to be like kind of like super thoughtful and want to release things like all things at one time. But I said, kill that noise. Like as soon as you got a screen that's ready to go, like just drop it. So what we're going to try to do is just every time we have one of those new screens that's out and there's a translation for that screen, boom, like it'll just randomly start popping in. So at first it'll be really weird. It'll be like only one screen in the app is internationalized, and then it'll be 2 screens and 3 and then 4 and then 5. But the goal is, honestly, is this still true, Varun? Like the goal by the end of Q2 is to have the whole app
I think there was an
internationalized.
interesting comment that brought up that we have to internationalize the templates as well. So that's a new next thing to pick up. But the app itself, we will finish in Q2 and then we'll.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get to everything eventually, but the goal is to have the app completely internationalized in Q2. And the fun part about it is the language, like the languages aren't really actually a hang up for us, because there isn't a world where we don't have enough German speakers or Spanish speakers or this or that to translate probably to at least, whatever, fairly all major languages, Chinese, like, you name it, right? That isn't really the hang up. So I think what you'll see is you'll start to see this start to snowball downhill as we move into Q2, but I'm pretty psyched because I think by the end of Q2, we'll have some big, most of the app will live. And the only thing people will be complaining about, quite honestly, is why don't you have it in Swahili? And then it'll be like, hold up, here you go. Let's get some Swahili speakers to come in and just quickly do the translation. It'll be easy once that's done to just knock it up and put it online. That will be less of a challenge.
Awesome.
So, good question. Hold on. I'm going to jump to one question and then I got to drop because I'm holding off a call I'm supposed to be on. So Austin asked, is there ever going to be a GHL 2.0? And I think that's a really interesting question I personally want to address. And I would say, if Vern, you can feel free to cut me off if I'm wrong, but I would say no. So the way we've architected this from the beginning, well, I would say we've actually shifted architecture under the hood in many different ways, and we will continuously forever. But there isn't a world where we'll have to just say, you know what? Sorry, we're going to have to bag this whole thing and restart from scratch.
I think
that's just
the way to comment on this
realistic.
is there are a lot of versions under the hood, but we'll never put that on the customers. Like we will keep upgrading infrastructure. We will keep making it faster, better. But from the customer perspective, you will never have to change what you're doing.
Will we be off Firebase by the end of this quarter?
We won't be fully off. We will be mostly off.
But let's say like by the end of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, if we decide to make that a
priority, okay. So as an example, let's just say we started off by using Firebase, which is a kick-ass database technology that when we were smaller, just crushed it for us. And unfortunately, as we scaled faster than they scaled. And we realized we needed to move in order to make sure that we were going to continuously be speedy, control, basically, honestly, a lot of it's just the ability to scale up the database capacity faster and not rely on them. And the reality is we've made almost all of the important moves from that we had to make have already been made. And to Varun's point, the only thing that's not made is just stuff like, it's fine. Why move it if you don't have to kind of stuff. All that happened seamlessly, and it took insane amounts of work, by the way. All of that happened under the hood without anybody noticing. All that's happened is the app actually just kept scaling behind the scenes to hundreds of thousands of additional users. And so that is a great example of how things will continue to be. So there'll never be a day where you wake up and we're like, oh, sorry, you got to shift over this other login screen because we've rebuilt the whole thing from scratch, and you got to rebuild.
What did you move to?
MongoDB. Thing. There you go. And you're seeing this, like we move from view 2 to view 3. I mean, there's lots and lots and lots of scenarios where we've, and even behind the scenes, we used to have like one big Elastic cluster. Now we've broken them out into several, like all these other things. And really all it does is make the app more performant and more scalable and more risk tolerant, quite frankly. And then eventually we have some things that are already multi-regionalized. We'll eventually multi-regionalize more things. just on and on and on it goes. None of the stuff is easy or simple, by the way. Sadly, the only thing I feel bad about in this whole thing is that the people who actually do all the hard work for this will not get enough of the credit for it. But the point is that we've architected it this way from the get, and we're already at a scale that's well beyond the average app that any of you use. So we feel pretty good about that, and we think we can continue to do a great job at it. So just want to make sure I answer that question directly.
ERM for the win.
Always. So feel free to continue the call. I just feel bad. I got to drop off and go talk to this person who's been in my waiting room for a while. Varun, you're the host. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, man.
All right, let's jump to the next question from Power Boot. He says, sorry, guys, joined a little late. If there's been covered already, sorry. Are there location put and pull from V1 being brought over to V2?
Yeah, so I just threw this in the chat. It seems the release notes for this are going out tomorrow. So you should see an announcement post on Facebook as well. And Gaurav, who's on the call, is sending out the links to a couple of customers once it's ready. So if you drop your email, he can send that over to you tomorrow as well.
Beautiful. Next question we have is from Jenna. Is there a way we can make it so when I share a funnel to another sub account, the form goes with it?
So,
yeah.
Like, do you want to do it from the snapshots, or do you just want to do it using the funnel share URL or the funnel clone functionality?
Are you here, Jenna?
Yeah, sorry. I generally just do it like share from one sub account to another. Like I add that one specific one in.
Okay, got it. So most likely the clone feature.
Yeah. And I mean, it's the
Yeah,
same thing that's
sorry.
being asked for the workflows. This is really linking all the related assets and moving those over when they clone or share. So it's definitely something that we should run down. So it isn't possible today, but we'll definitely run that down.
I'll just note it down we can discuss tomorrow.
Yeah.
Awesome. And the last question is going to be, will there be a EU hosting option at some point to improve GDPR compliance?
Yeah, so we are working with the legal team on that. So I think we will figure out what the requirements are, and we'll make sure that we can comply. So we don't have that on the list today, but it is on our list to be compliant. So if it's required, we will do it.
Okay. Is there any last minute questions before we end the town hall?
Thank you.
Looks like that's going to be it. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Nico.
Bye, everyone.
Great work, everybody.
Cheers, guys.
Bye-bye.
Hey, bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.